सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। Bhagavad Gita, 14th chapter, 5th verse. Here Sri Krishna is now explaining the three gunas, sattva, raja and tama. Sattvam rajas tama iti gunaha prakriti sambhavaha nibadnanti mahabaho dehe dehinam avyayam. Mahabaho, O mighty armed, that is Arjuna. Sattvam, sattva guna. Rajah, rajas. Tamah, tama guna, tamas. Iti, these prakriti sambhavaha, they are born out of prakriti. Gunaha, these gunas, dehe, in the body. Avyayam, the indestructible. Dehinam, the embodied one. Nibadnanti, binds. So binds in a strong manner. So sattva, rajas and tamas, these gunas, they are born out of prakriti and then they bind in the body or to the body the indestructible embodied Atman. What does it mean, bind? How can the Atman be bound? It cannot be bound. But there is a semblance of bondage. There is an appearance of bondage. It seems as though the Atman is bound. It seems that there is bondage. Why? Because of ignorance, because of avidya, ajnana, maya. What are these three gunas? They are the constituents of Prakriti. And they are the basis of all things which we see. So they are superior to different substances because they are the basis of all substances. And so first Prakriti is there, then the gunas are created. So the entire universe is in a way based on these three gunas. Though the ultimate principle is Brahman or God, but this universe has these three gunas as the basis for what we see. For the different names and forms, the basis is, ultimate basis is Brahman. But as we see them in their names and forms, the basis is these gunas. They are the basis of all what we see. So without these gunas, no name and form would be possible. And this is a appearance. This is a false perception. And so that is why it is appearing as though the embodied, that is Dehi or Dehinam, is bound to the body. It is appearing like that. It is bound to the body. So bound to the body how? Because a person feels hunger, thirst, sleep, etc. So bound to the body in that manner. Also one thinks that one is limited by one's physical strength, by one's mental capacity. So bound to the body in that sense. And now Sri Krishna further explains the different qualities. He says, Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakam anamayam sukha sangena badnati jnana sangena chanagha. Anagha. O sinless one. Who is sinless one? Arjuna. Tatra, of these three gunas, nirmalatvat, because of its being without any mala or impurity, because of its being free from impurity, prakashakam, luminous, anamayam, and it is also free from evil, sattvam, sattva, sukha sangena, by being attached to happiness, jnana sangena, by being attached to knowledge, cha, and badnati, binds. So, of the three gunas of sattva, rajas and tamas, sattva guna is of the nature of being free from impurities, and it is free from evil, it is luminous, and it is connected with sukha, happiness, and it is connected with knowledge. Essentially, one has to go beyond all these three gunas to understand one's true nature, that is Brahman or Atman. But in this world, when we operate, we are always operating through these three gunas. And so, a person has to gradually come from tamas to rajas and from rajas to sattva. And so, that is why the sattva guna is characterized by being pure, luminous, and free from evil. But this also, badhnati, this also binds. As it is told, iron chains are also chains and golden chains are also chains. Iron cage is also a cage and golden cage is also a cage. Even though the sattva guna appears to be much better and puts one in a better place than the other gunas, even then that guna binds. It is a cause of bondage. And so, what kind of bondage? May be a good bondage because it is attached to sukha. Sukha sangena badnati. And prakashakam, anamayam. It is anamaya, free from evil. It is prakashaka, luminous. And it is nirmala. It is free from impurities. So, how does something bind the Atman to happiness? Here the point is ahankara. I am happy. The idea of being an agency of happiness. How does it bind through jnana? I am wise. I know things. So all these, what do? They belong to the kshetra. These qualities, they belong to the kshetra, as we saw in the previous chapter. Kshetra means what? Kshetra means the body. So these qualities belong to the body. And it is wrongly associated with the Atman. But what is actually Atman? Satchit Ananda. Absolute existence, absolute consciousness or knowledge, and absolute bliss. Not happiness but bliss. And so, this avidya or ignorance leads one to wrongly think that one, that is considering oneself as the body, has happiness, one has knowledge. So, that kind of bondage is what is created by sattva guna. Going to the next verse, 7th verse, in that verse Sri Krishna says the essential nature, he talks about the essential nature of rajoguna, rajaha. Rajo ragatmakam vidhi, trishna sanga samudbhavam, tannibhadnati kaunteya, karma sangena dehinam. Kaunteya, O son of Kunti, meaning Arjuna, ragatmakam, raga atmakam. Raga means attachment. Know it to be of the nature of attachment or passion. Ragatmakam, rajaha, rajas. Trishna Sanga Samudbhavam. So it is, what does it give rise to? Samudbhavam. It gives rise to Trishna. Trishna means desire. It gives rise to desire. Sanga and attachment. It gives rise to attachment and desire. What gives rise to attachment and desire? Rajaguna. Rajas gives rise to attachment and desire. So here, Vidhi, know this. Tat and 8, Karma Sangena Dehinam. And then it, Karma Sangena Dehinam. It is by attachment to action, Dehinam Nibadnati. It binds Dehinam, the embodied one. That is the self or Atman. It binds it. How does it bind? By attachment to action. Karma Sangena. So, in the previous chapters, Sri Krishna is asked by Arjuna that even though I want to control my mind, it is as though somebody is pulling it by force and not allowing it to be controlled. So then Sri Krishna gives this answer. He says, Kama esha krodha esha rajoguna samudbhava mahashano mahapapma vidyenam iha vairinam. So, Kama esha krodha esha. Know this to be Kama. Know this to be Krodha. Kama means desire. Krodha means anger. So know this to be desire or lust. Know it to be anger. He uses singular for that. And how is it produced? It is produced from Rajoguna. It is produced from Rajoguna. So that Rajoguna produces raga, attachment, passion, and also it makes one do work. Karma Sangena Dehinam. It attaches the self wrongly to karma. It attaches the self wrongly to karma. How does it attach the self wrongly to the karma? Because ragatmakam vidhi trishna sanga samudbhavam. This raga, this passion, it gives rise to what? Samudbhavam, trishna and sanga. Trishna means what? Desire. It gives rise to desire and it gives rise to sanga, attachment. Both are same. Desire gives rise to what is called kartrutva or the sense of agency. I do this. I am earning money. I am a doctor. I am a lawyer. I am an accountant. I am an engineer. So on and so forth. So it gives rise to this sense of agency that I do something. Kartrutva bodha. Bodha means the sense or the notion. And bhoktrutva bodha. Bhoktrutva means the sense of enjoyership. So it gives rise to trishna, desire, which gives rise to kartrutva, sense of agency. And further, it gives rise to what? It gives rise to sanga. Sanga means what? Sanga means attachment. Attachment how? That is bhoktrutva. So ahankara, that is the sense of agency. Bhoktrutva is the sense of experience. I am the experiencer. So I am eating this cake. I am drinking this juice. I am going to Delhi. I am going to New Zealand. All these kinds of ideas, they come from the idea of being the experiencer. Now, Kartrutva Bodha and Bhoktrutva Bodha, or Ahankara, the sense of I, and Mamakara, the sense of mine. So, Sangam is attachment, Mamakara, my mobile phone, my Apple phone, etc., my iPhone. So, when you have this kind of a sense or notion, that leads to all kinds of suffering. That leads to all kinds of suffering. So, Kama esha, Krodha esha, Rajoguna samudbhavaha, Mahashano mahapapma, Vidyenam ihavairinam. This is the 37th verse in the 3rd chapter. The same idea is, the question asked by Arjuna was, Athakyena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha, anichannapi varshneya, balad iva niyojitaha. So, though I don't want anichannapi, but somehow baladiva niyojitaha. It appears as though somebody is by force trying to take it towards this wrong actions or wrong understanding. So, then I am doing papam charati purushaha. So, I am committing wrong actions. Papa means here wrong actions. Wrong actions how? Because they don't go hand in hand with the knowledge that one is Atman, one is not the body, and one is not the mind. So they take you away from your true knowledge. Wrong actions. So sattva means a feel good state. Sattva is basically a state where everything is almost in balance, and it is a feel good, pleasant state. Rajas is a state of activity. Why activity? Activity and restlessness. Why restlessness? Because of desire. And then comes tamas. Tamas is a state of squalor. Tamas is a state of inertia, where one does not do anything. So the opposites look alike. If you see a person who has predominance of sattva guna, that person also will look alike. That person also might not take so much care of cleaning one's surroundings or dress one's clothes. But a person tamoguna, steeply immersed in tamas, that person also would not properly take care of one's surroundings, will not keep things clean, etc. But that person is in tamoguna, inertia. So that is what is told here. Tamastu ajnanajam viddhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramada alasya nidrabhihi tannibadnati bharata. Bharata, O descendant of Bharata, tamah, tamas, tu, and ajnanajam, born out of ignorance, sarvadehinam, all embodying beings, mohanam, deluding, viddhi, no, tat, it, pramadalasya nidrabhihi, by pramada, by error or misunderstanding or miscomprehension, and alasya, laziness, and nidra, sleep, nibadnati, it binds everyone. So in every person there is a mixture of sattva, rajas and tamas, and tamas is born out of ignorance, and it mohanam, it stupefies, it stills or it deludes all embodied beings. And how does it delude? By misunderstanding, wrong understanding, miscomprehension, and by laziness and by sleep. So it causes what? It causes delusion, it causes aviveka, it causes non-discernment. All the wrong things one does is because of tamas. All wrong actions and lack of enthusiasm to do something, it is all tamas. That is why Swami Vivekananda, he wanted that India first gets out of this tamas, gets into some activity, rajas, and then one can go into the state of sattva. But now, apparently from the outside, it seems that India is in the state of sattva, but it is in the state of deep tamas. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.